All right, here we go. The first Florida Trail Riders Hare Scramble of the year in 2025 in Bartow, Florida. 32 electric bikes on the line in the E-Class, and I'm on my Moto Ranch at Croom XC4. I finished third in the E-Class and about 39th out of 200 plus or so. So obviously I could have got a better start here. Looks like I'm about 5th or 6th, and probably should have been more aggressive around that outside there. I was just kind of thinking it's a long race, and I was going to pass people. So I'm just working on getting around as many people as possible. And don't worry, that muddy sand goes away here shortly once I get roosted a couple more times. So I got that guy around the outside. And then this guy in the green, we go kind of back and forth for a while. He's definitely faster than him in some sections for sure. And once I got around him, I gapped him quite a bit. But here on the first lap, I eventually drop it in a corner and kind of get stuck in a tree. And then 3 more people get around me, including this guy after I passed him. I can see 3 guys ahead of him in front. I'm just trying to kind of get around him. Unfortunately, it was a little difficult at times. I was a little nervous on this first lap too, and kind of blew a couple berms. Really wasn't in my groove until kind of later in the lap after I fell. So here we're kind of coming around the pit area. It's off to our right, which on the electric bikes we have to pit every lap, or on my bike at least, we have to pit every lap. The Starks, they obviously have one battery, they can't swap them out. Some of the Surons, they usually stop either every lap, depending on how much voltage they're running, or they stop every other lap. So now we're back into the main part of the track. So here I'm just kind of trying to settle into my groove, get into a rhythm, and stay close to the back of this guy so I can make a move. It was a little hard to pass in some of this stuff. There's a lot of one lines in the woods. They all kind of converge together. The best places to pass were in these straightaways where you could kind of run the edge of the track around somebody. So there you see I got by him. And there's another guy in green. I'm going to work on getting around these guys. So again right here, I'm just trying to kind of stay in the rhythm, stay in the groove. Keep up to the back wheel of these guys and take a passing opportunity when I can. Once you get into the woods here, and some of the other sections where the S-curves are, it gets pretty hard to pass. It's pretty one line, and especially in the corners, it kind of led to one line. There weren't a lot of options once you get in here. This track also is very deep sand after about lap 2. Very deep sand. It rained in the morning early, kind of drizzled, so it was real nice. But then once everything kind of dried up, it was pretty deep and pretty whoopy as well. It got really rough on the 3rd and 4th lap. So here I'm just trying to bide my time to get around him. Start getting on the throttle, try to make up some time with some of the people in front of me. This is kind of in the lap where I was starting to feel pretty good. Feel pretty smooth. So here I'm catching up to another guy. Again, just trying to pick my spot to get around him. So once you get in this woods, it's pretty tight. So here I'm pushing pretty hard, trying to get around this guy so I can gap some people. And I just come into this corner a little too hot and drop the bike, and then my front wheel gets caught on that tree. And then as you can see, I get it up one at a time, and then 3 people go around. So now I have time to make up and some positions to make up as well. Again, I get stuck behind that guy in the ring. So here we're starting to get into this tight wooded section where everything kind of leads to one line. And there weren't a lot of options. So you see I get back up on the rear tire of these guys. But again, it was just difficult to pass in this section. I think I get around the guy in front of me here shortly, but then again I'm stuck behind that guy in the green. That was one of the alternative lines. There just weren't many of those in this track. So this bridge right here, the concrete bridge, and if you didn't get squared up before that thing, it was really slippery. And there's this little kicker that comes up. Panic rev. It kind of booted me. There it was. This guy was kind of swapping around in those whoops. Still trying to get around him pretty hard.
So I'm still working on getting around these guys. There comes a point here where we take a corner and there's a chance for me to get around him right here on the straightaway. Kind of taking a little bit of an inside line. And now I'm back to working on the guy in the green. We're also coming up probably on a pit stop here fairly soon. First pit stop. So there's a two-stroke that comes up on us here shortly. And I'm letting him around. I try to follow him. This guy cuts me off. Definitely blocked me there.
So as you can hear, there are some gas bikes coming up behind us. And I don't want to lose this guy, and I also don't want to hold those guys up, so the courtesy and Hare Scramble is to let them go by. And once I do so, I kind of lose some time here. So now I've kind of caught back up to him, got that 4-stroke off my rear tire, and was really wanting to get around him pretty hard here. And there were a couple times I could have ran it in on, like, right there, but I didn't. Maybe should have been more aggressive, but, you know, it's a long race. Don't want to hurt anyone. There's another time where I take an alternative line in the woods where we come right together, and he just pretty much has a wheel on me, but this big sweeping corner coming up, there's this nice line on the inside of the tree that's kind of on the top. It's really off camber, and down further in there, the sand is so deep. It was difficult to get to it when we got out there. So I'm coming in here kind of to the finish line, little chicane going into that, and then about a few minutes, maybe
5 minutes later, we come into the first pit stop. There's a section in here where the whoops were so gnarly, it's so deep, and very sandy. It's coming up here after this high-speed stuff. This section right here is really gnarly with deep whoops and deep sand too. You kind of hear the bike kind of struggling through it. And then we go into the pits. First pit stop.
Alright, I fell and got stuck in the fucking tree.
Look, you're doing alright.
Yep.
Alright, slowly. Yep, slowly. Alright, get back at an angle. There you go, drop it in. It looks like Derek's having issues, so you're in second. Oh no, third. There's a kid on the start that said, get that kid on the start right there.
So the first pit stop of the year, battery change was a little slow, but I managed to get Derek, a buddy of mine, and then that kid that was pitted off there towards the end, coming out of pit row. And then at this point, I'm just wanting to get on the throttle and gap some people. So if you're still with me at this point, second lap of the race, things are kind of spread out at this point, and I'm able to open it up, kind of get in my rhythm, focus, and start ripping. Start opening up the throttle a little bit. There's some of these wide open sections here that, you know, it looks smooth, especially this one, but it's not, and they were pretty rough. So I was just kind of focused on keeping it upright, keeping up speed, and catching some people. Eventually kind of get into some lap traffic here and there, and also there are some A-riders that started behind us, some younger A-riders that started behind us, A and B both actually, that are on 2 strokes that start coming up behind me. And I'm going to leave you from here, and I'd like to watch the rest of this, get an idea what the rest of the race was like. It was about an hour and 34 minutes or so. I finished about 8 minutes behind Sean, who was in number 1. Who rips. Sean's super smooth and fast, and he's also on an XE4. Like I said, total race was about an hour and 34 minutes, and I got 4 laps. I think there was one other guy that got 4 laps, or maybe only us 3. Top 3 got 4 laps. I'd have to look at the overall. But anyway, 4 laps in. Yeah, it was a good race. Looking forward to Bartow number 2, which is coming up here in about a week. And see you then. I'll have another video for you, and you should come out and join us. It's fun. A lot of people, a lot of racing. It's cool scenario. Florida trail riders are great, doing what they do. And like I said, we'll see you in about a week.